Hello, it's Thanksgiving week, so we got to talk about Thanksgiving, right? Or giving thanks. It sounds more appropriate, real, I guess, to say giving thanks than Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving sounds like a holiday. It sounds like a get together. It sounds like just a bunch of food and eating. And that's not what I'm going to talk about. We're going to talk about actually giving thanks, the act of being grateful. Right now in school, we are learning about, like, we've gone through history, we've gone all the way from creation, and now we are at almost the revolution of, in America, the Revolutionary War. So we learned about the first Thanksgiving, and it was really tough. Like, the pilgrims came over, and most of them died. And those who survived through the first winter, and then they planted, and then they harvested. Finally, they had food, so they were giving thanks. Of course, there's a whole bunch of, conflict nowadays about that because we know what came next. We know that the Europeans all started to come over and they took land from the Native Americans, and it did a horrible thing, many horrible things. So now we look back and we're like, oh, bad. But at the time, it was this amazing just act of giving thanks. They were giving thanks to God, and they were giving thanks to the Native Americans who had helped them. Then the Native Americans came and they had the harvest festival with the pilgrims, with the first people, the first Europeans to come over. So it was an amazing thing. And it was done out of the gratitude of their heart. So, ignoring all of the political stuff, ignoring what came after, the first Thanksgiving was a beautiful thing. Some people had survived. They had worked really, really hard, and they were very grateful. So, how does that impact you? And how does that impact your future? Okay, I want you to give me a number. You don't have to do it on here because you might not want to. But if you're comfortable, do it here. Otherwise, even if you're watching the replay, just respond normal as if we were talking live. A number between 0 and 10 for your current state of happiness. Now, there's a lot we could talk about as far as like well-being and health. I look at the whole you, those 5 pillars: body, mind, spirit, diet, environment. All goes together. Your happiness is kind of related to all 5 of those, right? So, what would it feel like for you if you could bump that up by 2 without doing like anything crazy? Most of us feel like we just have to take life as, Hannah, good question. Current as in general lately. Like, if you had to rate your happiness between 0 is no happiness and 10 is you're on cloud 9 all the time. Like, how are you on average right now? Um, to boost it by 2 points is pretty actually simple. We can't change the circumstances necessarily. I love the meme that's going around about snow. I happen to love snow. But there's a meme that says, you can be grateful for the snow, you can hate the snow and complain about it. Either way, you're going to have the same amount of snow. That's what I'm talking about. Like, we can't change a lot of the circumstances that we're living in, but we can change how we respond to those. So to boost your happiness by 2 points on that 0 to 10 point scale, we just have to practice giving thanks, right? It's so simple, and yet something that we don't think about. One of the key tenets of giving thanks is to recognize what we have. A lot of times we're not thankful for something until we don't have it anymore. Just think about your appetite. When you're feeling sick, when you got morning sickness, you don't have an appetite, you don't want to eat anything, you don't want to go grocery shopping, you can't fathom how anybody else could be hungry. Everybody should just not eat. You don't even think about your regular appetite. And then once you're feeling better, it's like Now you can cook. Now you can go grocery shopping. Now you can plan your meals. Now you can feed your family without feeling a little bit of, "Ugh, why do you have to eat?" Well, there still might be some of that, but um, like you just take your digestion and your appetite for granted until you don't have it. And then when you get it back, you're so grateful for a short time. And then you start taking it for granted again. It's the same with anything. When we take it for granted, then we're not as happy. So notice things. Every morning, the boys are required to write down 2 things at the top of their school planner of what they're grateful for today. At least the older 3. Daniel doesn't have a planner because he's not officially in school. But every day they have to write something down. And a lot of times it's like, what is it? Boxes to store my Legos. Or that's like Joshua. He's thankful for structural things that make his life easier. Caleb is usually thankful for art stuff, crayons, glue, scissors, whatever he looks around and sees that helps him create, he's thankful for those things. Matthew is thankful for people. It's always daddy because he did this, or this person because he did this. It's very interesting. You can see their perspective, but all of them say that they are grateful for at least 2 things every single day. And then when we pray too, we try to give thanks because it boosts everything. It makes your day better. But I want to specify that gratitude is not the same as happiness. Yes, I said that giving thanks, being grateful can boost your overall happiness, but it's not the same thing. You can be grateful for something without being happy about it. It's kind of hard though, but it is possible. I'm going to fall off my ball because I sit on a ball. Did I ever tell you that? I had my legs crossed because I'm freezing cold and can't balance very well on a ball with one foot. All right, so what was I talking about? Okay, gratitude and happiness. So gratitude is long lasting and it doesn't change with your situation. Gratitude is something that you choose to do. It's an emotional involvement. You can't passively be grateful. You have to actually stop and feel it. It's a choice. Happiness, on the other hand, is just a state of being. So gratitude is a choice. It's something that you do. Happiness is how you are. I guess that's how I would explain it. And happiness is predicted by the amount of gratitude you choose to give and the amount of gratitude or giving thanks that you choose to partake in. So this whole, like from now until Christmas, I'm thinking about keeping our live streams really short. Tell me how you feel about that. I know that everybody gets really busy right now. So I'm thinking like 10 to 15 minutes instead of my normal half an hour. So let me know if that's okay. And I know even right now, there's not very many of you on. So we're going to keep it short every Tuesday from now until Christmas. So every single live stream, every single blog post, every webinar, I try to give you some simple, actionable steps. So today, or this week, it's easier because it's Thanksgiving, but I want you to write down what you're grateful for every day. Whether you start the day with a gratitude or whether you end the day with gratitude. It's one thing to give thanks to God. It's one thing to give thanks to whoever is helping you. Even they hold the door. Instead of just like saying thank you as a reflex, which I often do, actually choose to mean it. Take a second and just be present and say thank you to them. Because again, gratitude is a choice. And when I walk through the door and it's being held for me, my reflex, my automatic response is just to say thank you, but I don't mean it. So step into gratitude and choose to write it down, because when you write it, it changes your brain. So that is my simple tip for you today. Write it down. Keep a gratitude journal, especially right now, especially because we're all so crazy busy between now and Christmas. This is when it's most important to give thanks. This season honestly drives me crazy. Like, I would be quite happy to take my family and go and live in the middle of the woods, away from everything, up until January 1st, right now. Just leave. I would be so content with that. Um, Off the grid, we would have to cut our own wood. That might be a little hard. Um, but I would be totally content with that. This season drives me bonkers. It's the give me, give me, give me season, and I don't like it. And it's busy, busy, busy. I don't like that. So for me and for you, it's important that every day we're prioritizing stepping into gratitude and giving thanks, because that can change who we are. All right. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. I hope it's a wonderful one, and enjoy giving thanks.